All right, here we're on section 8.4 on other functions and their properties. We'll do some exercises in this section. So we're supposed to write the domain and range of the function in interval notation. So first off, what do we see about this function? Well, it's a linear function because it's in the form y equals mx plus b. Now here, the plus b is a plus 0. So if we really wanted to think about this, we could really graph this pretty quick in a rough way. Well, if that intercept is 0, that means at 0, 0, we have a point. And we have a negative slope, and so we have something, and it's going to be probably something like this. Now, that depends on your axes and what the scale is and everything, but it's going to go down and it looks like something like that. So what do we know about a domain of a line that looks like this? Well, our domain is going to basically go from negative infinity all the way to positive infinity. And our range? Well, our range is the same way. It's going from negative infinity this way to positive infinity that way. So sometimes, without having to do anything, you can get the domain and range if you just graph it simply and then you look at your graph. What about this one? Same kind of concept. Now, in this case, what we have is t squared. Well, t squared, let's make t squared a different color. Let's make it, like this. T squared is a parabola that goes something in that form. Now, what do we know about a negative t squared? Well, a negative t squared is going to go the opposite direction. It's going to go down. And so that's about as good as I'm going to get for that one. And so now what we have to do is we have to think about what does that negative 3 out in front do for us as far as the graph go? Well, what it's going to do is it's going to make it and it's going to pull it in. It's going to push it in. And so let's go back to purple. And so what it's going to do is it's going to go and be something more like this. Now again, are any of these exact? No, they're just kind of representative of what's going to happen. Because if we have t squared, if we plug in a 1, we're going to get a negative 3, so it's going to go down here. If we plug in a negative 1, it's going to go to negative 3. Whereas if we had plugged in for just a plain old t squared or a negative t squared even, what would if we plugged in a 1, we would have got a negative 1. So it's going to be, like right here. So we can see that it's going much down. And so we pushed in our sides. And so our domain in this case and our range, well, our domain is x's. Well, that's going to be basically all x's. So it's going to go from negative infinity to infinity again. Now our range though, here we're starting at negative infinity. We're going up to, now this includes that 0, 0. So we're going to go from negative infinity up to 0 and we're going to include it. And so that would be our range. And again, just kind of rough sketching things and how they are going to look will get you a good idea of how you can find the domain and range. All right, let's stop there and we'll come back for some more.